Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about this recent development. Donald Trump just signed a $100,000 HB1 visa bombshell. I mean, I guess he just comes out of nowhere with that kind of stuff. I mean, this is basically Trump dropping an atomic bomb on the tech world. All right, and this thing is sending shockwaves from the Silicon Valley to Bangalore in India. So exactly what is the H-1B visa? You see, what happens is America takes like talent. They import a lot of talents. I'm talking about, super smart people, people that have knowledge and technologies like maybe a handful of people in the world can do. I mean, we're talking about like highly intelligent people, whether it's in STEM, like science, technology, and whatever else, you name it, but mainly tech. All right. So these are like special visas that we bring people over here to work at our, Facebook, Amazon, basically tech companies. So this is what this visa is, and this is how important that particular visa is, right? And so just a few days ago, Trump just announced this. He just slapped this massive $100,000 fee for new H-1B visa application. I mean, now many people are saying this looks like it's probably another attack on India. Like I did a video earlier before, like you guys been probably aware of. We've been involved in this tariff stuff with India. We're basically targeting a lot of Indian goods and services because of the whole Russia-Ukraine war thing, right? This is not just, hey, listen, they don't like India or whatever. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Donald Trump in his, doing a press conference there, and this is basically what he's doing. He's announcing this stuff, like, he's slapping this H-1B visa stuff. All right. And this thing here can reshape how America compete for global talent. The way we do this kind of stuff is he basically fundamentally just alter a lot of that stuff, but here's the thing though. Now this fee, okay, not everyone has to pay for this. I guess you can say this is good news or bad news or whatever you want to call it, but not everyone has to pay. There are a few exceptions. Basically, universities, if you're in college universities or whatever it is, but this also does not affect the people that are already here. If you're already here and you already if you're already on the H-1B visa and you're renewing, so you don't have to pay this fee. Okay. So visa holders, people already here, they don't have to pay. But however, this is basically a 1,500% increase. 1,500%. Normally, this application costs between $6,000 to $10,000 per application. This is astronomical, all right, and it feels like it's coming out of nowhere, all right. But the way the Trump administration is justifying this, they're saying, hey, look, we want these American tech companies to hire Americans. We don't want them to outsource our jobs. We don't want other foreigners and people come from other countries that are to come in here and taking jobs from Americans. We want companies to hire people from universities here, train them to take these American jobs. So that's basically what the Trump administration is saying. Hey, listen, we're not against whatever, but we want you guys, you tech companies, to hire our people and to do it here. Okay. Now, I mean, some people may say, hey, this is great. This is, America first agenda and so on and so forth. But, we're going to have to wait and see how this thing is going to play out. But there are exemptions to this, right? So not everyone has to pay this fee. So basically universities and colleges, right? All institutions of higher education, you get a complete pass. Okay, so we're still allowing students to come here. That's also big business too, because a lot of these people that send the students to learn here in the higher universities and colleges, a lot of them, they pay cash and so on and so forth, right? So that's big business. So we don't want to touch that. All right. Non-for-profit research organizations. If you're one of those, you don't have to pay. Government research organizations. So basically, if you work for the government, if you're developing weapons, if you're in tech, whatever it is, you're exempt. We'll import you with no problem. All right, so there's a bunch of different things like, doctors and like special, whatever it is, we don't have to pay that. They don't, there's a few exemptions for those. Okay. But this is very interesting because this is leaving like a very interesting loophole, because Well, I would say, why not then just, hey, listen, instead of hiring a 21-year-old from India, why not just say, hey, listen, why don't you come to one of our higher learning universities? So that way I don't have to pay $100,000 to bring you here. You can just come to our universities, take lunch or whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever, take something. And then we'll hire you from that university. It's like, hey, listen, we didn't import this guy. We hired him from the university. That's we didn't import anybody. We hired him from American universities. That's one of the loopholes. So I'm just as an idea, you can already see how they're gonna try to get around that, because just like tariffs, this thing has all these loopholes and all little workarounds. Like, smarty pants, they'll get around it. They'll figure out a way. All right. But the problem with this is a lot of the tech companies they mean the big guys, they may not complain, but a lot of them are going to take a big hit on this, right? And number one on the list that's going to feel the most pain is Amazon. Amazon leads the charge, leads the carnage. Okay, Amazon has with over 15,000 HB1 visa holders across this platform, across the whole Amazon workers and people that import from mainly India. It means that they could face a $1.5 billion in additional fee if they maintain the current hiring levels. Okay. Now, it's not just them. So Amazon has 15,000 HB1 approvals and so on and so forth. And you got Microsoft coming up in second place. You got Microsoft at 6,000. Then you have Meta or Facebook, 5,000, which 5,000 employees that they import from the HB1B visas. All right. So we're not even also too, I mean, not on the list here, but we also talk about Elon Musk as well too. He also imports a lot of it. And, one of his tweets, he said he's going to fight this thing tooth and nail. I don't know how he's going to do that, but also too, Tesla depends on a lot of, foreign, foreign students, or they hire a lot of very smart, very technical people from overseas as well too. So they're going to take a hit as well. Apple, basically all the FANG stocks, right? Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. However, Netflix, the Reed Hastings, which is the co-founder of Netflix, he praised this. He said, "Oh man, this is great. This is a great idea. Yeah, we support this policy. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you support this policy, because Netflix, they don't want competition. I mean, think about it. If I'm a small startup, if I'm going to come up with a business model like Netflix has, and I could try to import, a bunch of Indian super smart people to maybe, to slowly nibble away at Netflix. Now it's going to become that much more expensive for me to do that. So if I'm Netflix, yeah, I'm happy about this. This is a great policy, Trump. You should do more of this. This is perfect. All right, because now this whole thing here creates a barrier for startups and smaller companies. All right. But the thing is also about this is, like, India is getting hammered. I mean, everyone knows that they basically targeting India on this, right? Over 70%, over 70% of all H-1B visa holders are from India, which make this like basically a tax hike, a big tax on India. Okay. So you have, like, big Indian companies, big IT tech companies in India. Surprisingly enough, though, they kind of actually taken this pretty well. It looks like they've been preparing for this, because they've been reducing their H-1B visa dependencies for over the years. So I guess they saw this coming, and they've been slowly pulling back on this. Okay, TCS, which is India's largest IT companies, now hires over 50% of its U.S. workforce locally, and only gets about 3,000 to 4,000 H-1B visas annually. Right, so they've been slowly just pulling away and slowly kind of like doing their own thing. Not sending so many of their brain talents to America. All right. And this is another thing, right? This is like the unintended consequences. Okay. This is America's self-inflicted wound. Now, here's a plot twist. Maybe Washington or the Trump administration, I don't know who's advising that administration, maybe this is something they may not see coming. This policy could massively backfire and actually hurt America more than India. Instead of creating more American jobs, this $100,000 fee might trigger an offshoring boom. When it costs $100,000 just to bring in an Indian engineer to America, companies would start doing the math, and they're gonna realize and say, "Hey, listen, well, I can hire multiple workers in India, keep them there for that same amount of money. Why would I want to bring them here? Well, maybe I'll just go to India and build shop over there." Okay, this whole policy right here, this is India's golden opportunity. The $60 billion windfall. While this looks like a disaster for Indian tech workers, it might actually be the best thing that ever happened to India's economy. The country's $60 billion global capacity center, so GCC industry, could see explosive growth as companies choose to expand their Indian operations rather than just to pay this astronomical fee, this astronomical visa fees. Every H-1B worker that doesn't come to America is potentially a high skilled job that stays in India. Okay. This whole thing could accelerate India's transformation into a global technology powerhouse with major US companies building larger development centers in Bangalore and many different cities and many different tech areas in India rather than coming here to Silicon Valley. If the Indian government initially concerned about this policy, maybe soon enough, guy, maybe India is starting to realize, you know what? This is actually a blessing in disguise. This is actually probably not a bad thing. Okay, most skilled, because that means that more skilled workers are going to stay in India, which means innovation is going to go up, more entrepreneurship. If you're keeping the smartest people, you're not having a brain drain, all these people are not leaving your country. If they're going to stay here now, you're going to experience economic growth because these people are going to start businesses. They're going to have startups. They're going to start all, bunch of different things and for your country and your economy. These people are going to, this is going to be not a bad thing. I know maybe right now India may not see it. They may see this as, a disaster for now, but I think in the long run, it might actually be a good thing for them, to be honest with you. All right. So the thing is, there's going to be a startup apocalypse. Okay. In America, because what's happening is while these big tech giants could absorb the cost, smaller companies, like I was saying before, if you're a smaller company and you're trying to get into to the business or whatever it is, it's going to be that much more difficult for you. Big guys like Netflix and so on and so forth. That's why they love this policy. That's why he's like, oh yeah, this is a great policy, because now the government just basically killed the competition for him. All right, for Netflix. It's going to be insane. So if you're a small company, you're like, hey, listen, if I want to bring in 12, whatever, a couple of Indian technicians, right? Normally would cost you $50,000. Now it's going to cost you $500,000. Where are you gonna raise that kind of money? I mean, if you're a small startup, if you're smart or whatever it is, maybe you can, but in the long run, I don't see how this is probably gonna help your company or help you be competitive to the big guys. Okay. And it's kind of, I don't know, man. It's sad. It's not looking good. I don't know, why would you do this? You're the innovation of this country. Why America is where we're leadership in technology and so is these small companies. Like Netflix was a small company. They came out of nowhere to challenge the giant at the time, which was Blockbuster, right? Small companies, small startups, right? But now this thing here is going to kill that. So there's no more competition for Netflix. All right. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. From my opinion, from this thing here, the problem with these types of policies is that it's going to take a couple of years. It's going to take some time for you to see it to go into effect. All right. But the problem, the broader economic implications are going to be staggering. H-1B visa holders, the people that hold these visas, they contribute $86 billion annually to the U.S. Economy. All right. These are professional people. They're very smart people, very professional people. They pay taxes. They pay billings and taxes, and this will dramatically reduce their numbers, all right, of the amount of money America can see. And also, too, these people are high earners, so they go out, they buy things, you know what I'm saying? So they contribute to the economy. And this may also lead to slower innovation as companies struggle to find specialized talent, higher costs for American consumers as companies that has to pay all this money for this visa or whatever it is, they'll just say, hey, man, we're going to take this cost. We're going to pass it on to the consumers. Why do we have to pay for it? We don't want to pay for this kind of stuff. We let the consumers pay for it. And this going to put, the crazy thing about this to me is like, why are we doing this? Meanwhile, we have this whole competition with China. China is leading AI. They have all this technology, have all different things. Right now, as we're trying to, compete with them or trying to get ahead of them, we pass a stupid bill like this. I don't know. I don't. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Maybe you guys think this is great. Maybe this is gonna work out. But I don't know. From where I'm sitting, that's my opinion. I don't see it. All right. Meanwhile, India could see this massive benefits from this. Right. You have talent retention of highly skilled workers who would have immigrated to the United States, who would have left your country. Now they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay in India. All right. They're gonna operate. They're gonna be no more technology transfers. As global companies now might say, hey, listen, you know what? Instead of bringing the stuff here, maybe we might extend our R&D, research and development centers, and right in India, right? This is where all the skilled workers are, so we'll bring the jobs to them, okay? Here's the bottom line of all this. This policy changes everything. Trump's $100,000 H-1 visa fee isn't just immigration policy. It's industrial policy that could reshape the global technology landscape. While it might create some opportunities for American tech workers, I guess. I mean, if there were so many of them, then why wouldn't these companies hire them? Right? That's why we bring them in from other countries. And also, to these universities, all that stuff, most of the tech people that are in those universities are also from overseas, from China and India. But anyway, it could also trigger a massive acceleration of offshoring that leaves America less competitive in the long run. Like I said before, this feels to me like the tech equivalent of NAFTA, when we did these policies in the name of, oh yeah, this is going to benefit the American people. This is going to be great. Meanwhile, it created the Rust Belt. Everybody, all these corporations just left and build their companies overseas. I'm having a feeling this might be something similar to that. We may experience something along those lines, okay? But for India, this policy might initially sting right now, but it could ultimately be proved to be the catalyst that transformed the country into a true technology superpower. The great irony is that a policy designed to protect American jobs might end up sending even more work overseas. Now, we're going to have to wait and see. And maybe then in the next few years, we'll reveal whether Donald Trump's gamble has paid off. The problem is he may not even be in office when that happens, whether it's a failure or success, or this is going to create more opportunities for Americans, or maybe it will backfire and it's going to be crash and burn. It's going to turn into a complete disaster by accelerating this, offshoring. By companies say, hey, listen, we're going to open our R&D in India. We'll save a lot of money that way, and we'll basically abuse technology transfer. So only time will tell. But one thing is for certain, the global talent war had just got a lot more interesting, and the rules of the game have just fundamentally changed. I mean, we'll see what happened, guys. But anyway, this is going to be all for today, guys. Please, if you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you soon. Thank you.